In this video, I'm going to share with you the biggest mistakes that golfers make when attempting to aim their golf shots, the key things that pros know when it comes to aiming based on your preferred ball flight, and not to mention how to practice your aim to be able to take it to the golf course successfully, so you're no longer that player saying, I can hit the golf ball great on the range, but I can't take it with me to the golf course. So this is going to be a full lesson on aim, and I want to start with your intentions before moving into the physical application, because sometimes just revamping your intentions is enough to set you up for success. The most common mistake that I see here is that people are paying entirely too much attention to where their feet, their hips, or even worse, their shoulders are pointing, and using those to influence and dictate their aim. The club face is going to be the most important factor here. But if I set up with my feet and my body a good 2 to 2.5 feet inside the golf ball, and I focus on now trying to aim and align my body at the blue flag there, that's my target, you'll see now as I put my club face down, my club face is going to point to the right, which means the ball's going to go to the right if I make a good golf swing. And I will, in that moment, then think that I made a bad golf swing. And what's even worse is I know my target is the blue flag. I don't know that I'm aimed out to the right, which means I need to begin making compensations as soon as the club moves in preparation to reroute the golf club over the top. But now you'll see my weight's on my back foot. I'm either going to hit behind the golf ball, I'm going to lift up to avoid the ground, or as I come over the top, pull it to the left or slice it to the right, which we all know is a problem. So the most important thing you can do is not worry so much about your feet and your body. I don't mind if somebody who has a problem over-rotating in the forward swing sets up with their feet a little staggered like this to slow their hips down and allow them to release the golf club. I also don't mind if somebody has tight hips or a bad back if they set up a little bit open with their feet, as long as the club face is pointing down the target line. So now that you understand that aiming the club face is the most important aspect of aim, and that you align the body in relation to where the club face is pointing, let's move on to the practical application and get you aiming for your preferred ball flight. That's very important. And we're going to take a page out of the playbook of Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods, because those guys are pretty good. And they both played with an intermediate target, a spot maybe 12 to 24 inches in front of their golf ball that they can aim their club face at. Now you can use an alignment stick when you practice, or on the golf course you can use a divot or a discoloration of grass, or maybe a piece of grass sticking up that's a good identifier for your club face to aim at. But it's a little bit more complex than that. You have to use your preferred ball flight for this. And what I mean is, I'm going to pick an intermediate target that is directly in line with the blue flag, and we're going to use the very front of my alignment stick here as that indicator. Now, if you're someone who fades the golf ball from left to right, why would you walk in and aim your club face directly at your target and make a swing where the ball fading is going to go away from your target? It does not make any sense. So when you choose that intermediate target as someone who fades the golf ball, you're going to pick that intermediate target and practice walking in to aim your club face just to the left of that intermediate target, so you can get set up for success and be confident that your swing is going to start left of the target and then fade back towards it as opposed to away from it. And if you're somebody like myself who has an easier time drawing the golf ball, you're going to set up back here behind, pick your intermediate target, and then pick a spot just to the right of it that you can step in and aim your club face at that intermediate target and trust that that golf ball is going to draw. And it's going to draw back towards the target, as I said, as opposed to away from it. All right, you have the club face as your primary focus. You have your intermediate target and are aiming based on your preferred ball flight. And here in a second, we're going to get into the biggest mistakes I see people make that causes them to make bad swings on the golf course. But before we do that, if you're someone serious about improving, if you're in the Los Angeles area, click that link in the description for that free 45-minute swing assessment so we can get you set up on a pathway to success and more fun on the golf course. But back to these biggest mistakes. The biggest mistakes that I see people make, and you'll see an orange alignment stick perpendicular now to the target line. That big mistake is that people are going to walk in too direct of a line to the golf ball, and they will walk all the way to and then sometimes partially past the golf ball. You'll see now, as I have to turn and face the golf ball, I have to turn too far to address it, and then as I back away, I'm aimed and aligned out to the right, and we all know the bad swings and compensations that happen from there. So people are walking too direct and too far. What I would prefer you to do is, as you have that target and that intermediate target, make this first step a little bit out to the left. And then as you walk in, you're going to turn a little bit back here, and you're going to kind of stop before this stick and walk in. And now you have a good visual, kind of halfway open to the target, so you can see down the target line and see that you can put your club face on line where you want to go. Now that that club face is down, now you can get your feet set and get ready to make a good golf swing. But if you walk too far and turn and face and aimed out to the right, you're going to be in big problems as you go to swing the golf club, and you're going to wonder why you're making bad swings. The second thing is, people are using their club kind of as an aid here, and will walk in and do one of two things. They will walk in and they'll go something like this, where they'll kind of point right here, and they're standing close, and they come here and they got that point, and then they turn and they try to get their body aimed again, as opposed to the club face, which is again incorrect. The second way they'll do this is they'll walk in and they walk directly to the ball. They get this club face down, they try to aim it directly at the target. Well, as you turn to move around, this club face is moving left or right 9 times out of 10, and now the club face is misaimed. You're going to move your body in the wrong way, and you're going to be set up for failure as opposed to success. So as you walk in, again, we're not walking direct, we're walking a little bit out. Got the club in your hands, or if you want to use the club in your right hand, watch the pros. A lot of them will walk up, the club's in the right hand, because this palm of the right hand, the club face are aiming in the same direction. So they'll walk out here a little bit to the right, twirl the club a little bit if they're fancy. They're a little bit open to the target. They can come in, put the club face down exactly where they want it, get the other hand on, make sure that it's set, and then the feet get set like I said. And now you're set up to have a ball that's aimed and ready to make a solid golf swing that goes towards your target. All right, now comes the fun part, the time to put it all together, everything that you learned, to practice, to prepare, taking what you learned to the golf course successfully, so you're no longer that player saying, I can hit the golf ball great on the range, but can't take it to the golf course. This is one of my favorite games. It's called left, right, straight, and it's exactly like it sounds. You're going to need 2 clubs or 2 alignment sticks on the ground just like this, and 1 stick in the ground about 4 to 5 yards in front of you, in line with your target. Now, you're going to hit 3 shots per set. The first one's going to be left of the stick and left of the target. Now, I'm not going to stand here and try to aim to the left-hand side by standing directly in line with my target. I'm going to actually stand on the right side of the stick and point myself out to the left side of my noodle. As I'm looking here, I have my target, and as somebody who draws the golf ball from right to left, I'm picking that spot, and now I'm going to walk in and aim my club face just to the left, just to the right of that intermediate target. And a really good swing even with this wind. Because sometimes this is important, because you're not going to be always aiming straight. Sometimes holes are diagonal, sometimes there's dog legs, and you have to learn how to crisscross applesauce and aim in different directions successfully and be able to hit good golf shots. And now for the next shot, I'm going to stand on the left side of my stick and aim to the right. My target is going to be the right edge of the green. Now, if you're someone who fades the golf ball from left to right, this may be uncomfortable for you, and that's okay. You just got to get comfortable picking that target and being able to pick a spot that is just to the left of that target, so your ball can successfully fade to a target on the right-hand side. That's a pretty good swing, even though it's uncomfortable for me to make as a drawer of the golf ball. And last but not least, we're going to aim straight down the target line. And again, as somebody aiming straight down the target line, I'm not picking that target and saying I'm going to aim directly at it, because if I draw the golf ball, my ball's going to go left. So I have my target, I have my intermediate target, again, walking out here a little bit to the right, to the left, to kind of come in, putting my club down just a little bit to the right of the stick and right of the intermediate target, and stepping in and hitting. Not a bad swing. So practice this drill, get comfortable aiming in different directions so you can be set up for success on the golf course. I really appreciate you guys watching today. If you like this video, make sure you like it or leave a comment if you have a question. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And last but not least, if you're somebody in Los Angeles and you need some help, click that link for the 45-minute complimentary assessment below, and let's get you set up for success.